City of Stevens Point Water and Sewerage Commission meeting, recorded October 9, 2023.
Move for approval, Nachman.
Ainsworth second.
All those in favor signify by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye. All same sign. Motion carried. Okay. Department claims for the water department. Any questions? Okay, if there's no questions, we'll go on to the sewage department. Any questions about sewage claims?
Not for me.
Not for me.
Okay. On to fiber.
Storm is in there. It's a one pager.
Don't have any
Stormwater. I
questions
do
on that
have
one.
one question on that. 58209, the Schmeekley Phragmites treatment. What's that about?
Yeah, so that's right. Am I right there? I gotta get in on that further. Right there. Yeah, so what happened is Schmeekley Reserve was doing a treatment on Phragmites, which is an invasive species, and right adjacent to Schmeekley, off of their property, but onto some that is owned by the city. It's a stormwater facility, so it's our responsibility. There was stuff adjacent, so they just had it scoped out at the same time, let us know what it would be, and I thought it was just really good timing that they happened to handle the, handle the contractor and just tell us what our portion would cost. So it was kind of just convenient.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Any other questions for stormwater? And the last one, Ray, we were just finishing up claims.
Sounds good.
The last one is fiber. There shouldn't be any changes there because there's nothing to change.
There's nothing there, no.
Yeah. All right. We need a motion to approve all four sets of claims.
So move.
Okay, go.
All those in favor signify by the sign of aye.
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 All same sign. Motion carried. Joel, you're doing capital operations?
Well, just real quick, in a couple of months, we're gonna bring forward a capital operation maintenance plan like we always do for the enterprises. Wanted to let you know, though, you'll see some things on there a little out of step with what was looked at last year for vehicles. We were budgeting around $47,000 for something like a 3/4 ton vehicle last year, and they're up around 55 now. So we changed our look a little bit. Part of that was actually we have our first EV, fully electric vehicle in the fleet now, and that was that helped a bit because wastewater was looking for a 4-door for some staff needs. So the one that I drove went over to wastewater. The EV was cheaper than a full 4-door would be, so we're saving some money there, but the trucks in general are more expensive. So just wanted to give you an update on that we're kind of changing direction a little bit from where we were a year ago, but you'll see that reflected on the capital plan coming up in a couple months. That's really all I had. It was just an update.
Okay.
Do we need 3/4 ton vehicles for?
Yeah, in a lot of cases we do. In fact, on one of them, we went to 1 ton instead of 3/4. There's a truck that we keep a pickup size salter in, and that's a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And so actually, and I believe the price really wasn't any different between the two.
Correct.
So the heavier truck was just appropriate.
Okay.
So in some cases we do our crew trucks, the construction trucks, things like that hold the salter. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Water supply and distribution. Eric?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Just a quick fact I wanted to run or let you guys know. So this year we've pumped over 10 million gallons in one day 16 times. And in the last 7 years, we've only done once, and that was once last year. So I just wanted to show you how much pumpage has gone up due to the hot, dry weather. Kind of a little fun fact for your knowledge, 16 times this year, 10 million gallons. Back in July, I stated that the water tower is gonna be inspected on Water Street, and once the report was back, we'd give you an update, which that was back last week. That tower is looking at roughly $800,000 in repairs. And it's mostly in the coating, so the internal coating, and then the exterior paint job is about $660,000 of that. Plus engineering, there's some other structural and mechanical issues with the ladder inside, the cathodic protection, some structural settling going on, but overall, that tower is roughly needing about $800,000 in repairs.
How old is that tower?
65,
Yeah.
1965, it was constructed, Chicago Iron and Steel, I think, put it up.
Any guesstimate on when the last time the paint was redone?
2005?
Outside was '05, inside was in the nineties, I think.
Something like that.
But one of the bigger items here is, and we were talking through capital a little bit this morning, to put things into perspective, this tower right here was built in '05, and it was $750,000 total at the time. We've been knowing for a long time that, and right after that, we got matching paint jobs, right? Because that one needed it, the outside needed it. It used to be lighter blue, I don't know if you remember, but now they have the matching wave pattern and everything. The composite style with the concrete pedestal and the steel bowl, they're far less in the way of maintenance. And as you can tell by those dollars, you don't have to paint it all the way to the ground, right? You have raw concrete. So one of the things we're seriously looking at is whether or not that tower comes down, or whether we put the effort into maintaining it or not, because we may also, we don't know yet, we're gonna do some engineering on it. We may not end up needing a million gallons, because you'll recall that for a long time, that was our only elevated storage. Now we've got the one here, and we may move it to a different site. We were talking about, and Eric brought up the booster station location. So the booster station, which has been decommissioned, is on Georgia Street, and it has large distribution going to it for no reason now. There's no big storage there. So we could actually put an elevated tank there if all the modeling works out. We don't know yet, but it might be actually good to get them in separate parts of town to eliminate the fact that a single failure could take them both out if it was in the right spot. So looking at all that, but his point about $800,000 in maintenance may turn that into, let's put that $800,000 towards construction, plus whatever else is.
So how long do you think it's gonna be for you to gather the information to know what to do?
I think we'll know what we wanna do in the next 12 months, and I think we've got 5 years to.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They say 1 to 2 years on the paint job, but they've said that a couple of years now, so
Yeah.
Okay,
that's all I had. If you have questions for me.
thank you, Larry. Chris, on the sewage treatment?
All right. We had talked about, fecal coliforms last month. That September 7th sample was high. The rest of the month did go very well, so we were within our monthly limits for all of our parameters. So it turned out, ended up being well. Andritz should be on site pretty quick, if they're not on site already, to start looking at the dryer repair. I'm hoping by the time we meet next, that we are fully operational and things are ready, back to making dry biosolids again rather than landfill. So that's what I know. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to take some questions.
Just a question on, landfilling versus dry biosolids. How much does that save us?
It is roughly right now we're running 5 days a week in the landfill and we're falling behind. That's roughly $1,200 a day in trucking, and that's just tipping fees. That's not trucking costs, that's not labor, that's just a tipping fee. So for us to have a dried biosol that somebody else comes and just picks up is exponentially cheaper than.
Couple grand a day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Construction and maintenance report, Shane?
Sure.
Basically, there hasn't been anything really out of the ordinary, in the last month. We should be completing the lead service line replacements this week, for the water crews. Sanitary crews are continuing with the cut jet flush, maintenance of sewer lines. We will get, they should be able to resume televising this week. We had some issues with the, new camera truck that had to go back a couple of times for, warranty work, but, we'll have that back this week, and they can resume that. That's really about it.
Cool. Any other questions?
Yeah. Is there a season for the cutting and flushing? Does it get too cold for you guys to do that work? It can get too cold for the vacuum trucks, just because of the freezing, aspect. You don't wanna damage the truck. Yeah. Or anything like that. So as long as you can protect the truck itself, we can do it any time of the year, really. Okay. But normally, would there be a couple months in the winter where you... Normally, yes. Oh. Yeah, and then you try to, concentrate on, televising at that time. Okay, thanks. Sure.
Very good. On to Joel's report.
I mentioned the capital stuff already. The only other thing I have is that the city's pay plan results are out. Personnel committee is acting on them, at least the structure tonight. For what it's worth, the information's out there. I have some stuff here if you've got any questions on it. But, yeah, that's all. Just wanna let you know that's out there.
Have there been any substantial changes proposed, Joe?
Well, if you look at the positions in the utilities, since we're in that meeting right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 unique positions in the utilities. And when you take the individuals out of it, if you look at the position as a whole, all but 4 of those got market adjusted about 3% up. And the other 4 went up between 8 and 30%.
Okay.
So there were some significant changes. Nobody got a market adjustment down. And they wouldn't pay less anyway, even if they did, but the market said overall, the majority of them move almost exactly 3% from a midpoint perspective on the job up. And then there's those 4 that move
Okay,
more.
good, thank you.
Yep. That's all I've got.
All right. Need a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
All those in favor signify by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye. All same sign. Motion carried.